or no?
I think so. Yeah. Let's see. Hello, we're live. Welcome to Cinephile Sundays, the live stream where usually Randy Ray and I talk about a movie for about an hour or so, sometimes with a guest. Randy is on assignment this week, so it will be just me and our guest. And as you can see, it's the internet's resident librarian, Jack Edwards, right here. Stephen Donoghue of the Steve Donoghue BookTube channel. Say hello, Steve.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, thanks for being here with us. If you're watching, say hello in the comment field, so we know everyone's here or not. I see it says we have six viewers. So anyway. Today we're talking about the taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, and that's from 1974. Someone disguised as Randy Ray is saying Randy's in the hospital with cellulitis. Yes, he is. I was protecting his. We don't want HIPAA violations on this piddling little live stream, but there you go. Yes. So yes, if you're a friend of Randy's, spare a thought for him. We're hoping he'll be out soon. Manny N says hello. I should post these. There you go. Can you see the chat, Steve?
I see them up on the screen.
Okay. Manny says hello. Randy Ray, the literate Texan, says, hi, everyone. I'll spare you my morphine-fueled rants. Okay. Thank you. Obviously, fake Randy Ray. The Randy Ray I know would not spare us his morphine fueled rants. So this movie from 1974, it's a great movie. I've seen it once before. I watched it, and I watched it this week again. Had a great time. Steve, what is your history with the taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3?
All the history in the world.
Okay.
I read the book.
Right.
Well, there was a movie.
Right.
Then I saw the movie.
Right. So I saw the original film for poster for this, and it said everyone read it, now you can see it. So apparently this book was quite a bestseller, or at least they were trying to pretend it was. No, it wasn't.
No, it was not. No.
Okay.
No. How odd. I forgot that was on the poster. No.
It's just everyone read it. I'm like, I've never heard of this book. Like it was another Jaws or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently
Jaws before the movie. Barely anybody.
That's right.
You can't say everybody read it if 100,000 times more people watched it than read it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, Peter Benchley didn't know the entire alphabet when he wrote Jaws, the novel. So, but there we go. Okay,
well,
so
the author of the novel,
mm-hmm.
writing under a pen name, John Godey, is awful. Talk about not knowing the letters of the alphabet. He never wrote a good novel in his entire life. In an entire lifetime of writing novels. Never wrote a novel that was even remotely good, including The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Okay. So why did he bother with the pen name? I wonder if
that's one of the overriding oddities of this movie. I don't, of course, agree with my esteemed host that it's a great movie. It's, of course, I don't think it's a great movie at all. Okay. If you're calling this a great movie, then what are you calling Lawrence of Arabia? 10 orgasms in a row?
Well, you know.
But one of the oddities of this movie is that the novel from which it is adapted was terrible.
Right.
And the director, Joe Sargent, is a terrible director who never directed a good movie in his entire career.
Okay.
Well, how they came together to make such an entertaining film, I have no idea.
And, you know, okay, so I am saying a great movie. You're saying that's a wild overestimation.
It's a wild overestimation. Yeah,
it's entertaining.
Don't have boom mics visible in half the shot.
Yeah,
great movies don't have audio that picks up the movement of stagehands behind the camera. Typically speaking, you avoid that in a great movie.
All right.
I'll attribute the greatness of whatever greatness this movie has to its screenplay writer, Peter Stone.
Yeah.
who wrote 1776, among many other great shows. So
okay, all right.
The only person here, the only person behind the camera who has talent. So it has to be him that made this so watchable.
Fantastic performances, though. I mean, now are these
performances? But
yeah.
Well, I want to hear what you think as well.
Fantastic performances.
I'm going to do
but
talking.
Very, very hammy performances. That does not mean bad in my book. I think it's a lot of fun. You can tell that these guys are having fun.
Hammy is fine. There's plenty of ham in this movie, but hammy is fine. What I squinted at is miscasting. It's total heresy for me to say, but of course, Walter Matthau is badly miscast in this movie. He's as a schlubby New Yorker, as a schlubby everyday New Yorker, sure. Yes. But he isn't only a schlubby everyday New Yorker in this movie. He's a tough guy. In one scene with one of his coworkers, he's almost an action hero. At the end. It doesn't work at all. The first reaction that any person on or off camera, fictional or real, is going to have if they see Walter Matthau holding a gun is, geez, don't hurt yourself. Not the reaction you want in an action hero. You're worried it's going to go off in his hand or slip out and fall.
Right. Well, that's why he's a lieutenant detective. He works with his brain. You know, he's not out there mixing it up.
Should we tell our viewers what the movie's about?
Nah. Okay. So the taking of Pelham 123. Pelham 123 is a designation of a subway line in New York City, and it is the 6th line, which starts in Pelham Bay at Pelham Bay Park in the Bronx, and the 123 indicates the time that it departed its from where it started. Right. So this is a downtown 6 train, so going down the east side of Manhattan, and it is hijacked by 4 men wearing trench coats, fake mustaches, eyeglasses, and kind of derby hats. And they all have submachine guns and are demanding the princely sum, some would say the evil sum of $1 million, or they will kill 1 hostage per minute on this subway car.
Right, because they take 1 car hostage and dislodge it from the rest.
That's right. Yes. So they send most of the train backwards. So this is just like in the middle of a tunnel between stations. So the curious thing is everyone is wondering what's their plan, even if they get the money. How on earth are they going to get away? Everyone knows where they are. The NYPD has surrounded them with heavily armed police officers. How in the world do they think they're going to escape?
And the car has a dead man switch.
Yes.
So that you shouldn't be able to operate it without the conductor.
Right. Yes. So there's
that mystery in the movie. In addition to everything else that's going on, you're wondering what on earth are these guys planning? Because we don't get an info dump. We're not told what they're planning.
Right. We're not. We have the ostensible mastermind played by Robert Shaw, Mr. Blue. And hopefully I think they're wearing color-coded hats. So Mr. Blue, Mr. Gray, Mr. Brown, Mr. Green are these hijackers. Mr. Blue has an English accent. That's how you know he's extra evil. And he does most of the communicating with Walter Matthau. So Walter Matthau is a transit cop. And in the 1970s, and actually until 1995, the NYPD did not police the subways and buses or the public housing. There were separate police departments, entirely separate police departments for the subways and for public housing. And before Rudolph Giuliani went completely insane when he was mayor of New York, one of the things he did, which was probably a good idea, was say, we should really only have 1 police department. But so there is some of that, and there's a little bit of nostalgia about this movie. Well, I mean, there's a lot of nostalgia in watching this movie today. Nostalgia for the filthy New York of the 70s, where I was born in Queens, as Steve sometimes says about someone else. But there is some of this rivalry between the transit police and the NYPD. You see Mathau on the radio with the NYPD chief on the scene. And one of the kind of cool things about it is Mathau is working this entire hostage situation and trying to figure out this case without seeing anything. He's doing it all in this operations center with no windows, and he's just talking to the guy. So he has no idea what any of this looks like. And, we see it. We see what's going on in the train, but Mathau is just like trying to piece it together. Walter Mathau is the detective.
Lieutenant Garver.
That's right. Yes, Zach Garver, Lieutenant Garver. And he has some other guys with him. He has Jerry Stiller, the great Jerry Stiller, as his another transit police officer working with him. And then his kind of sparring partner is, I think he's not a cop. He's just like the guy responsible for getting the trains moving again, who's like, what do we care about these people getting killed? I need my trains to run. Everything's backed up. And at one point he has the great line, what do these people expect for 35 cents to live forever? So,
yeah. And tickets. They knew what they were getting into. I say, let him crash.
That's right. So, yeah. So you get a lot of New York ethnic accents and that kind of thing. Walter Mathau, of course, is one of the kings of this from, well, whatever. So I've been talking for a while. You tell us some things about this movie that you want to say, Steve. Do you want to look at our chat for a bit? We have a lot of messages.
They're all losers.
They are, and most of them have leprosy. But there's Randy, who already said that he's on morphine. Bookless Pete says, "Hi all, get well, Randy. We're pulling for you," and yes, we are. Bookless Pete said, "I wondered about the movie poster blurb too." Yes, everyone read it. And then Libro Paradiso says, "How is this movie better than Bring It On?" It's older than Bring It On. Steve would probably like to do Bring It On. I don't know. Maybe the two of you should do a live stream. So Miguel from Libro Paradiso is one of our regular commentators and has been pushing for us.
Scare your regulars away. I hope not.
I don't think so.
I hadn't seen this movie in years and years when I rewatched it for this program.
Right.
And so much jumped out at me. Just so much that I had totally ignored. This is a historical artifact.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the way that New York City used to be. This is the way the subway used to be. In fact, one of the main dramatic reasons why the hijackers commandeer one car and separate it from the rest of the train is because this is from the days when you could walk between subway cars.
Yeah.
You certainly can't do that anymore. But if you couldn't control a whole subway train.
Right.
That's why we do it.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I'm not going to reread the book because the book is a pile of crap. So, but the book has, the gimmick that the hijackers have is that they figured out a way around the dead man switch. They figured out a way to move the car. The whole point of their scheme, and obviously we should say for the chat, this is going to include spoilers for what was that? What's that beep on my end? There must be nothing that beeps on my end. One of the things that we want, we should say, this is going to include spoilers.
Yes.
But the New York Subway Authority has a lighted board. They can follow every train, the progress of every train. They can't see inside it. There's no closed circuit TV, but they know where the train is. And the whole point of the hijackers' plan is that they will get the car moving once they're off it with the money.
Right. Yes.
So the transit authority will be following the car, assuming that there's no way around the dead man switch, and therefore not looking for the hijackers. That's the whole.
Yes.
And, I was thinking of that. I was thinking of that while I was watching the thing, and just suffused with the simplicity of that. It's never even. I mean, the book, the author barely explains it at all. It's obvious that he doesn't know how it would work, and the same thing is true in the movie. You see Martin Balsam putting metal rods inside one another. You know that Balsam doesn't have the first idea of what he's even supposed to act like he's doing.
Yeah. Yes.
And suddenly, magically, the train can move on its own with no explanation.
Yeah, exactly. They just figured out a way to override the dead man switch.
Yeah, those were the two heavenly MacGuffins that I noticed at the climax of the movie. One is that the gimmick is what it's called in the book. In the movie, the gimmick is not explained at all. And also, the train car is now out of control. We're told at one point it's going 70 miles an hour, and then it magically stops. When the book has fireworks at the end. It has all sorts of violence at the end. This doesn't at all. The train just magically stops.
So, yeah, they say, well, there's this thing, so if it's because the train is going downtown and it's about to hit the point where the downtown train would reach the end of the line and would turn around to go back uptown. And so apparently there's some kind of overriding thing that will stop the train if it's going too fast in that turnaround, in that U-turn loop. So that's what saves them. Now, I don't know when they put in emergency brakes, but in my entire experience on the New York subways, there's an emergency brake on every single car that anyone can walk up to and pull, right? And you may say that it seems like they're trusting people a lot, but do you want to be on a whole subway car full of New Yorkers who you've just made late for no reason? So you got to know why you're pulling that thing.
I confess. When at the end of the movie, when the subway car is running out of control and everyone's screaming and all the passengers are screaming and worrying, I confess, I thought about the great subway sequence in Spider-Man 2.
I haven't seen it.
Dr. Octopus destroys the controls of a subway and it's running out of control along the track, and Spider-Man has to save the day. He has to save everybody on board. I confess I thought of that.
Okay.
When Doc Ock smashes the controls of the subway and it's suddenly rushing out of control, Spider-Man has a choice. I can either go after Dr. Octopus or I can save all these innocents. It's no choice, and Dr. Octopus knows it. So he cavalierly says, "You've got a train to catch." Although I suppose I could also think of Predator 2, right? Where there's a massacre on a subway car. I could also think of that.
But I mean, is Frida doing okay?
Yeah, she's fine. She's trying to decide whether or not she wants to hop over here. She's over on her chair. She was going to hop over here, and then that notification sound happened. Okay. She has no idea what those are because all kind of silenced. So now that's got her wondering. It's all a little drama here.
Yes.
But in the movie,
yes.
Mr. Blue, calm and collected, doing crossword puzzles.
Yes.
Informs the New York police that they should inform City Hall that they want $1 million. This is at a time right around the time of Ford to City, Drop Dead. This was right around the time when New York had no money.
Yes.
You see the mayor, he is beleaguered, he is in bed with a bad case of flu, and he tells his number one hatchet man, the city doesn't have $1 million.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And this is one thing about this movie that is inaccurate. Well, probably several things about this New York subways in the 70s. There is no graffiti anywhere.
No.
And the transit authority said, we'll let you film on our trains and in our stations, but don't show any graffiti. That was one of their stipulations.
And those of you who are born in the 21st century, those of you who are, especially who are familiar with New York after it was made into the personal property and plaything of a mad billionaire named Bloomberg, will be wondering what we mean. Google
Yeah.
Inside New York subway cars, 1970s.
1970s, yes.
They were festooned with graffiti. Graffiti was everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah. Inside and out, all over.
Yeah. You won't believe it when you look at it. You just won't believe it. What do you expect for your 35 cents?
That's right. But yeah, I mean, they do capture the sound of those trains like coming in this day, that horrible squealing.
Yes. And the subterranean nature of it. This is a very dark movie. Not thematically, but just film. It's dark. It's a very subterranean feeling. Someone put a lot of care into making sure that there's a contrast between the subway scenes and the scenes we get later on when they're outside.
When they're so and here is something interesting about the mayor of New York, who we see lying in bed with a bad cold, I think having his temperature taken rectally by a nurse.
Yeah, he's miserable.
For maximum
he's miserable because he's sick. He's miserable because he's incredibly unpopular.
Yes, that's right. He is behind by, I think his aide says, 70 points in the upcoming re-election. So, but doesn't he look like a very famous politician from New York who is not, in fact, elected mayor until I think 3 years after this movie came out? It's kind of uncanny.
It is kind of uncanny, yes. to the extent that it's uncanny.
Yeah.
There's an argument to be made that every New York City mayor after LaGuardia looks like that. That they all look like that, regardless of who they are. But I don't know about the genesis of this movie. I really don't. I mean, the writer writing under the name of John Gotti was not really, I don't think he was really well connected with Hollywood, but the ink was no sooner dry on this book than it was made into a film. He wrote it in 73. The movie came out in 74. That's an incredible fast turnaround time.
Yeah. And so apparently it was
new. I have no idea who maybe lack of talent knows lack of talent. Maybe he knew Joe Sargent. I'd like to write a great book someday. Oh, really? I'd like to direct a great movie someday.
That's right.
But still, incredible. It was incredible for me to rewatch it and just have this disjointed sense of time. Because when I watched it the first time, I remember vividly thinking, in one scene with I think it's a commissioner in a cab. There was one scene where I remember vividly thinking, so in modern movies, we're going to have to see the World Trade Center in the background. It was just a year old. And all of a sudden, there it is. And true to form, for 50 years after that, in every movie, King Kong climbing the World Trade Center. Spider-Man webbing his way around on the World Trade Center. A gigantic tidal wave. In which end of the world movie was that? Armageddon. I don't know which one. It was the one with Elijah Wood. But in that movie, a gigantic tidal wave is roaring towards Manhattan. It destroys the Statue of Liberty, but it doesn't knock down the World Trade Center.
Right.
And there they are in the background.
That's right. Yeah. It's I remember the 70s King Kong poster where Kong is standing with one foot on top of each tower.
It was just assumed once those things went up, it was just assumed they would never come down. That is, I mean, some of you, if you're born in the 21st century, you might be wondering why it is so strange. Even 25 years later, it is so strange that they are not there. That is just so strange. I don't think that will ever not be strange. You are watching a movie or a commercial, an old TV show, and if you are the right age, and they make an appearance, you just stop. Your viewing just stops. It was amazing to me that was true. And of course, I noticed the offhand sexism of the movie.
Well, there
are no female characters. There are a couple of women on passengers on the subway.
Right. They're mostly hysterical. Yes. And one is drunk. One is
one of them sleeps through the whole event.
The entire hijacking.
There are a couple of things in the movie that are long payoff jokes I don't know that Hollywood makes writing like that. And again, I attribute that to Peter Stone. Real long payoff jokes, things where the writing is touching on a note seemingly out of nowhere in order to pay off a joke way at the end of the movie. The drunk lady on the train is one of those. Aside from that, the characters outside of the train, we have the mayor's nurse who is struck by his aide. His aide just strikes him.
That's right. Yeah.
She doesn't pull a gun on him. She doesn't sue him. It's offhand. And there's a new hire for the subway system who has lost her wedding ring.
In the toilet, yes.
Yeah, and fat Kaz Dolowitz is all upset because he has to hire broads.
That's right. That's right. And that's what they say. This position has been only open to women for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Right. So
the train supervisor, the track supervisor is named Cash Dolowitz. I myself think that actor gives Cash Dolowitz, Fat Cash, the only legitimate 1970s New York accent in the whole movie. I know that, again, that's a sin because I'm supposed to include Matthau, but a New Yorker sounded like Fat Kaz. They didn't sound like Walter Matthau. But
some of them did, and some of them sounded like Jerry Stiller also.
Well, if you're going to count the Bridge and Tunnel crowd, I'm not. Oh, wait, you are the Bridge and Tunnel crowd.
Yes, exactly. Let's see. Let's look at our chat. We have Libro says, I think filmmakers like Tarantino took a page from this film, a comedy masking as a heist film or crime drama. Probably so. I don't know. I haven't read much of Tarantino's musings on his formation, but I could definitely see that. Wine Calzones says hello, Wine Calzones. Looks like a picture of Frida there. I don't know. Unless that is Frida on her device. Libro says the Warriors had the best graffiti. The Warriors did have more realistic graffiti, yes, and much filthier subway stations in general in that movie. Let's see, Nancy Stevens. I think that movie was Deep Impact. Yep, thank you. Jenny Jables. Hi, Jenny Jables. I loved every minor character with 1 to 2 lines and how every man had to complain about women ruining everything. Yes, it was almost like women in the workplace was a worse thing to happen than the crime. I think.
But those,
I'm
not 100% sure that. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure that a lot of those long game comic things work out. I'm not sure that the comedy in the movie really works. Work for you?
I did not find myself laughing very often.
I mean, that the opening business where Lieutenant Garber is touring Japanese members of the Tokyo Metropolitan around. It's meant so that the viewer can hear Garber give you information about the subway system of New York.
Yes, it's the exposition dump. Yes,
and the joke is that when it looks like there's an emergency and he has to dump these people, he is convinced they can't understand English, and he says, "We want to take these monkeys upstairs." And it turns out that the Japanese officials do know English, and
all four. Yes, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure that would have been funny in 1974. Or knee-slappingly funny anyway.
I think Japanese people were just considered kind of humorous at the time.
I guess. I'd like to think that's changed, but it's not totally all that different from Die Hard. I guess. And the mayor being incredibly unpopular. That's repeated over and over and over again. And then at the end of the movie, when he is convinced by one of his hatchet men that he has to make an appearance in person.
Yes.
And we see the police sergeant and all the police officers on the crowd and the barricades and whatnot. And then we hear a huge amount of booing.
Yes.
And the police sergeant says, "Oh, it's the mayor," but we don't see him.
Right, we never see him. And we never really see him for the rest of the movie after that. He just
but I mean, we have the scene where he is browbeaten into paying the ransom.
Yes.
And immediately has delusions of grandeur about how great a mayor he is. But the the comedy payoff of all the mentions of how unpopular he is that you know it's the mayor by the booing. You don't have to see him in the crowd.
Right, exactly.
I'm not sure that really works enough to keep doing. And then there's the one that is most pronounced, where right at the beginning we are told that there is an undercover transit cop in the subway car. He's one of the passengers. Only we don't know it's a he. We are pointedly told at regular interviews that it might be a dame. It might be a woman on the car. Doesn't matter whether it's male or female. They're not going to start shooting with a crew of submachine guns. But we're constantly told that we don't know whether it's a man or a woman.
Yeah.
And then it's the next movie, it turns out to be a man. He is has long brown hair and a poncho, but he is an undercover cop.
Undercover as a hippie. Yes.
He starts the gunfire that precipitates the climax of the movie.
Yes.
And he's wounded in the process. So he is laying on the subway track. He's still alive. He will make it.
Long hair. Yes.
Except that Mr. Blue is right upon him.
Right.
With a gun.
Yes.
And says, well, you know, the mayor, you're a cop. The mayor will come to your funeral.
Right.
And that's when Walter Matthau, with his gun, stops it.
Right.
And after the climax of the movie, Walter Matthau walks up to the downed police officer whose face is down. He's laying there on the track, and he pats him and says that help is on the way, miss.
Yes.
Because he's just looking at the hair, and that pays off the joke. It's that he doesn't know, and when he sees the long hippie hair, he assumes it's the woman. That pays off the joke, but good Lord, what a lot of
it's a lot of setup. Yes, it's a lot of setup that doesn't really make any sense because they would know who it was.
You'd think, yeah.
They would know who it was.
That whole concluding scene, it's much more effective cinematically than its equivalent in the book.
Yeah,
but I don't think a lot of it makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Not just the fact that I know that I'll have people that don't agree with me, but when I see Walter Matthau wielding a gun as an action hero, I just want to laugh. I just want to laugh.
Does it help you at all that he doesn't actually shoot it? He doesn't actually fire.
Well, but earlier on, when one of his coworkers is mouthing off about, I'm not going to do anything to help the bastards that killed Cash Dolowitz, he grabs him and says, if you don't do what I say, you're going to be having dinner with Cash Dolowitz, and then hurls onto the floor, and it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel real at all. It feels nothing. I just don't think he has that club in his bag. That's all. It's just I saw that. I rewatched that scene where he grabs the guy and says, if you don't do what I say, you're going to have me dinner with Cash Dolowitz. And all I could think about was, the sea was angry that day, my friend. Like an old man.
Send back soup at a delicatessen.
That's all I could think about was George Costanza. It didn't seem believable to me at all.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, okay.
Boy, though, what an amazing thing. What an amazing little moment when the passengers see $1 million.
Right.
Because you alluded at the beginning to the classic Austin Powers moment where Dr. Evil has been in suspended animation for so long that when he makes a demand for the world powers, he demands $1 million. And they don't know what to do. One of the people that he's talking to said, I think I've got that on me. It's not an amount of money at all, but at the time, the passengers are stunned. They've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah. And it's divided. Now, here's a weird thing. It's divided into stacks of 50s and 100s. And then they're all they have it in a duffel bag. And they're just stuffing it into their overcoats. And it's like everyone gets 18 bundles without saying, but some of them are 100s and some of them are 50s. That doesn't make any sense. Come on, people.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that if their plan went well, didn't have all the complications at the end, then you'd have 4 guys waddling around Manhattan looking like pupating caterpillars. It wouldn't exactly be inconspicuous.
Right. Right. So the long story short is that they do not get away with it, but it seems like maybe. Well, it ends with double crossing, right? As these things always do. And the one guy who you thought was a loose cannon on the team at the beginning turns out to be a loose cannon and has to be eliminated by the leader of the group, right? So Mr. Blue kills Mr. Gray, and Mr. Gray has been, right, even for a criminal, has been kind of a creep the whole time. And, you know,
in the crew of criminals, there's only one that you want to see actually intentionally murdered.
Right. Yes.
He's the one who drops the N-word earlier in the movie. He's the one who says that he's perfectly happy with killing. We're told that he was kicked out of the mafia.
Yes.
He's the one you want to see someone shoot, not get shot, and the person who shoots him doesn't know whether or not they're killing him, not kill himself.
Yes.
But actually get murdered, and he does. So you get that you get that satisfaction.
That's right. And he so he gets killed by Mr. Blue, and Mr. Blue is the one. Well, you know, speaking of Die Hard, he is the what's his? Why can't I remember his name? The Alan Rickman, kind of very much in the mold of that Alan Rickman character. Kind of sophisticated, cool and collected. He was in the British Army. He was a colonel, I think, and then he was a mercenary, and you know, so he's thought this whole thing up. There's also they have a guy who was a motorman, right? The guy who drove the train. So this is kind of one of the linchpins of their plan, because not everyone knows how to. You can't just walk onto a subway and operate it. So this guy knows how. So he's on the crew to be the guy who will operate the train and provide the know-how to override the dead man switch. That there is a conversation between Mr. Brown, I think. No, it's Mr. Green as the train operator. Mr. Green and Mr. Blue about why he got fired from the MTA and why he wants to do this plan to, you know, to rob the city. And he says, well, there was this dope smuggling scheme where they were using subways to run drugs through the city. And I got caught. They pinned it on me. And Mr. Blue says, well, did you do it? And he says, well, what kind of person do you think I am? Of course I didn't. Or something like that. It's like, well, you are hijacking like 17 people and threatening to murder them. So I think we do know. I think that is intended as a comedic moment, but I don't know.
Yeah, this is a bit of dark comedy with the first hostage who is killed. Right. Because in the 1970s, the person who selected is the actual subway conductor.
Right.
And in the 1970s, that would have been met with cheers. You're not risking, you know, it's like they're shooting one of the kids on the train. They're shooting somebody who's already in the minds of New York as a villain.
Right. Yeah, that's true. So the hostages are, I think, intended to be kind of a cross section. You have, I mean, it's even for the 70s, way more white than it actually would have been. But, you know, there's a couple of college girls. There's a black guy. There's an Italian woman with two very noisy kids. There are a couple. There's a Spanish-speaking woman and a Spanish-speaking man. They would have been Puerto Ricans. And there is a guy who is in the credits as homosexual. What is the name of his character? So, and there's
an old Jewish man.
Old Jewish man, yes. So
a drunk,
the drunk woman, yeah, and yeah. So, and then there's the subway conductor, right? So he's the one. They send him walking through the tunnel, and he's killed by Mr. Blue. I think they just as a message to the police department that he's serious, right? So the idea is you have an hour to get us our money, or we'll kill one person per minute, right? Yeah, and an hour is very short time to get $1 million in cash, even in New York. Yeah, so,
in unsequenced bills, old bills.
Yes,
it's exorbitant demands that you couldn't do it in an hour.
Right. Yeah. They just barely managed to do it. It involves a police car crashing and turning over.
Yes.
You figured they might have cleared the streets in advance rather than just setting this car.
When they're flying out of police headquarters, one of the drivers says, "I've always wanted to do this."
That's right. That's right.
I know how to take that. They run into trouble right away. They run into an accidental roadblock that causes a delay in the transfer. It would still have been delayed.
Right. Yeah.
But Lieutenant Garber very belatedly realizes that the people down in the car don't have any idea what's happening up on the ground. So if worse comes to worse, he can lie to them about how close the money is.
Yes. Yeah. So
that's a very belated insight on his part. He has a very early insight that's really good. It in fact saves the movie. Is that he realizes what you said, that these guys can't know how to operate a car. There must be a motorman. So start work on all the people who've been dismissed from the job. It's not a skill set that normal people have. So we need to find the person that at least will know who one of these people is.
Right. A disgruntled ex-motorman. Yes. So that's what Jerry Stiller is working on. Through much of
and there's a bit of subdued comedy when Jerry Stiller is running down what happened to all the people who were dismissed, because none of them went on to bigger and better things. It's meant to be a little bit of a sly dig at the kind of dregs of humanity that work for the MTA.
That's
some of them have been institutionalized, some of them are arrested, some of them are dead.
Yes.
Also, the little cherry on top of that little comic bit is how many of them have been hired back.
Have been rehired, yes. Right. So it turns out they'll have like 9 people that they have to go and hunt down and see if they were involved in this heist. And one of them is working as a fare collector at, which is like probably the worst imaginable job, just breathing in fumes all day. But yeah, so they visit that guy. Eventually, they come to the home of Mr. Green, who was the one involved, and this is the end of the movie where they knock on his door. He's been lying on his bed with his, I guess, about $30,000 at this point, because they took Mr. Gray's money and rolling around on his bed with his wads of bills, planning what he's going to do.
Brown's money. They have to just leave him behind.
Right. Yes, they do. And he probably knows that Mr. Blue has been killed by the police. So he's like, well, okay, I'm probably in the clear at this point. All right, Mr. Blue's not going to say anything about me because so it's interesting how he goes, because Walter Matthau has got the drop on him. And he says, do you have the death penalty in this state? Figured he might have looked into that before he, committed a serious felony.
Come here. Your fans want to see you. Come here. Come over here. She's deliberating.
Deliberating. She wants to be part of it. She's like,
she just isn't sure. It's a big gap to jump if you're a tiny little dog. Come here. No, she's just. It's just deliberating. That's all.
And so Mr. Blue takes himself off the board. He's like, probably not going to get executed by the state. And I guess he doesn't want to spend the rest of his life in prison. So he commits suicide in a way that I'm not sure it would work with probably a leather-soled Oxford dress shoe, which I think he's wearing. But he puts his foot.
It certainly would. Yeah. It wouldn't look the way it does in the movie, but it would certainly work. Now, the thing about Mr. Blue that wouldn't work, and you who might be taking it into your head to imitate this movie, if you have a handgun and you fire it from inside your pocket to kill an insubordinate crew member, it's going to set the coat on fire. It's not just going to be magical. If you don't draw it, if you fire it inside your coat, it's going to set your coat on fire.
You don't want to know how Steve knows this.
I know it from Godfather too.
Right. That's right. And so Mr. Blue steps on the third rail, and the third rail is a real, actual, literal thing. The subway trains run on electricity, so this is a live electrified beam that transfers the power to the train that makes it run. So if you were to touch it, you would pretty much instantaneously be electrocuted. So that's what happens with Mr. Blue.
But it's an odd line that he has. He asks if you have the death penalty.
Right.
He's told not at the moment, and he says pity.
Yeah. It is not fine.
I don't know. I still don't understand that. I don't understand why that would be.
I think for him,
would that be the more honorable way to go?
Or? I think so. Yeah, I think that he would rather die than spend the rest of his life in prison, which is what he's looking at, right? And I think that he is a pitiless person himself. And so he thinks he's willing to kill all these people for not obeying his commands when he is lord over the subway car. There's no reason that the government shouldn't be as merciless with him for having transgressed in the way that he has. Maybe I'm thinking too deeply about it.
How many of the stores in the street scenes did you recognize?
There weren't a whole lot that seemed familiar to me, right? So I was born in 1972, and I do remember a lot of 70s New York, from going into the city, as we called it in Queens. But the general atmosphere of it was familiar, but specific stores, no. Areas of the city, yes, still look a little the same, but yeah. How about you, Steve? I know you spent time in New York in the 70s.
I recognized every bit, every single bit. Yeah, it was amazing. And also, like you say, the feel of it.
Yeah.
The grubby, unregulated feel of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's one word that describes what Bloomberg did to New York. It's regulate. He regulated it.
Yeah.
To a fare thee well.
Mm-hmm.
When he was done with it, you could leave a bar at 3:30 in the morning at one end of Manhattan, drunk off your ass, and wander barefoot with your wallet in your hand, unmolested, all the way to the other end of Manhattan. Which, on one level, you will say, that is certainly an improvement. That is certainly an improvement. That is wonderful. But then you think about it. Think about it just a little. Okay, you would be unmolested if you walked from one end of the island to the other.
Yeah.
But what else can't you do?
Right. Well, you can't pay your rent.
You can't pay your rent. You can't have a soft drink that's above a certain size. It's probably too late for you to be out and about anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you should be going home. Yeah.
It's like it's what I said at the time that it was happening. This is the trade-off that you get, that you used to get in Italian city-states during the Renaissance.
Yeah.
You got law and order, but you got one guy telling you how you lived your life. And you also, it was in the early stages of becoming a millionaire's playground.
Right. And I mean, a lot of the kind of crackdown on a lot of these things was going on before Bloomberg under Giuliani. He was there for 3 terms, so Giuliani did a lot of that, kind of setting the stage for Bloomberg to make the full billionaire's playground switch. I remember a couple of the first things that he did. One was that he never mentioned in his campaign was, I'm going to outlaw smoking in bars and restaurants. And he did that pretty much on day one. And a lot of people were like, what? You can do that?
You can do that?
It seems, and from our standpoint today, it seems insane to think that you were ever allowed to go into a restaurant and light up a cigarette. And,
Oh, an elevator.
Right. Or an elevator. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Right. And he doubled parking tickets kind of overnight. So as one of my friends who was a double bass player said, so he spent a lot of time driving his bass around in a minivan and trying to park his minivan. He said, yeah, they doubled the cost of parking tickets. People said they wanted a billionaire mayor. I guess this is what we get.
So you will get movie artifacts.
Yeah.
From a wild and woolly New York City.
Yeah.
New York City that largely does not exist anymore. It will again. These things have cycles. but it largely doesn't exist anymore. You'll get this movie.
Yeah.
You'll get someone mentioned The Warriors.
Right.
There's also the a great old horror movie called Wolfen with Albert Finney.
Seen that. Okay, I haven't seen that.
It is another pure example of this old New York, where there are the whole point of the movie is that there are vast, undeveloped urban wastelands of abandoned tenements and ruined lots and anything like that. Prospectors would be on those. Prospective developers would be on those 10 years before they happen now.
Yeah.
And there would be a 100-foot glass skyscraper in that space in no time at all. None
That's
whatsoever.
right. That's right. Mostly owned by sheikhs and unoccupied.
But at the time, it was what New York looked like. It was what it looked like, what it sounded like. And that's kind of amazing. This in Taking Pelham 1, 2, 3, nobody has a cell phone.
No.
Everybody has long suffering, thick skin.
Yeah, that's right.
You're out in public with a thick skin. You need it because no one's going to sue anybody else. I mean, one character in the movie does threaten to sue, but
that's right.
It's meant to be meaningless. It's meant to be meaningless, whereas now it would not be.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
No one's worried about social media. No one's worried about their personal brand. No one's worried about anything like that.
Yeah.
Totally different atmosphere.
Yeah.
That I think is sometimes laid on a little heavy in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that Walter Matthau is supposed to be typifying that hangdog, work a day, take whatever comes your way, New Yorker attitude.
Yeah.
But there are scenes where he sounds, when he's talking to Mr. Blue, he sounds like he's talking to his laundress. Oh yeah, I got it. What else do you want? Yeah, I got it. You want fries with that? I know that he was told, or either he told Joe Sargent, here's how I want to play this. I want to play this that nothing flaps a New Yorker.
Right.
Yeah. The kidnapping of a subway car and the threat to kill everyone on board, I think you reach a point where in the dramatics of the movie, where if that doesn't flap you, you're wondering why. It's not impressing you anymore. You're wondering, okay, why are you talking this way? Aren't you alarmed?
Right. Almost no one who's not down there in the tunnel seems all that alarmed, right? The mayor is like put out and annoyed.
And the cops are angry. They're angry about this. But I think it's really interesting that the who is it? Inspector Daniels, Lieutenant
the NYPD
guy is very careful to be respectful. He calls him sir throughout the movie.
Yeah,
that's unfortunately another long-running bit of comedy, because he calls him sir throughout the movie, and then when he meets him, he says, "I thought you'd be," because he's a black man.
Yeah, I thought you'd be taller or something.
I thought you'd be white.
And but he can't say that. Yeah,
he can't say it, and it's not that funny. And I don't believe it would have been that funny in '74 either.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah. Good.
I'm not sure that the comedy in the thing works, I guess, is what I'm saying. I think actually the funniest thing in the movie is probably the famous final scene. The final moment of the movie is probably the funniest thing in it.
That is pretty funny
for anybody who hasn't seen it. But it also is a very long played out thing. It's ground all throughout the movie.
Well, I think
it's ground all throughout the movie, and then the very last scene plays off on it. You have to wait until the very last scene of the movie to get the payoff.
I think that almost doesn't work, because by the time that they've gotten to that, like the whole time that he's there, the scene that leads up to that moment, he's not doing that thing.
Right.
That is the thing that he was
the dead giveaway. He's not doing it until the script needs him to. And I mean, it's not a totally black and white thing, because Walter Matthau's character says, "We'll be talking to you." He's obviously not done with this guy.
Yeah.
He's acting really guilty. Mr. Green is acting really guilty.
Yeah.
Martin Balsam doesn't help any. He's overacting. But another thing I noticed, oh my God, in his rat hole of a New York apartment.
Jerry Stiller.
You look at his kitchen in his New York apartment, you realize how expensive groceries are now.
Yeah.
Because his kitchen has piles and piles of groceries all over the place.
That's right.
For a guy who's out of work, who's obviously lying about his job, lying about his employment, who's living in a rat trap of an apartment. You look at the stuff piled on his refrigerator and you'll be green with envy.
Yeah.
The stuff piled on top of his refrigerator in America in 2026 would cost probably $400.
Yeah, probably true. Yeah. Except that place looks so terrible. That apartment looks so bad.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Some of them still look like that.
Yes.
It wasn't 100% effective. You can still find apartments like that.
Yeah.
In the city, you still can. You don't have to go to some misbegotten borough. Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Oh my God, I keep trespassing.
It's fine. Yeah, nice place you got here. Fantastic. So after that famous very last moment, the credits come in, the music kicks in, and the end credits music, I think is fantastic. I think it just totally kicks ass.
I didn't even know. Who does the music for this movie? I don't even know.
There's a guy named Shire, Peter Shire, I think. He did a lot of film scores and was married to Talia Shire. But this is just it's a fantastic kind of it's like brass and drums, and very kind of minor key jazz. It's really cool, I think, and a lot cooler than most of the music throughout the movie. But it's end credits, so it has to kind of have a little bit more of a strut to it. With people watching the credits, and then the
1970s movies that doesn't happen anymore. Right. A little feature of 1970s movies is that sometimes you will get a really, really good moment as the very last thing in the movie.
Yeah.
Not the last act, but the very last thing you see or hear will be something. Yeah. That's rare. That doesn't usually happen in movies nowadays. I mean, the classic example here would be Jaws.
Right.
Where you have a massive explosive climax, but then you get two parting moments at the end of the movie. You get Police Chief Brody and Matt Hooper. In the movie, unlike in the book, Matt Hooper lives. And they have killed the shark and they are paddling back to shore. And Brody says, I used to be afraid of the water. Can't imagine why. After he's gone through this nightmarish experience with a giant, preternatural, intelligent super shark.
Right.
That moment, and then the closing credits are rising up over them walking onto land.
Right. Yeah.
And the 1-2 thing there is wonderful. It would significantly decrease the movie if it weren't there.
Yeah.
Think about a Hollywood movie now. You're done 10 minutes before the credits roll.
Yeah.
They are made with the assumption that the audience is really kind of dumb.
Yes. And then they will put in.
That's another reason why there are long payoff comedy routines don't happen anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're assuming the audience isn't paying attention.
Because they're not often. Someone's mad that you're spoiling Jaws, Steve. So let's look at the the comments here. Manny N says, "Watched it for the first time today. Really enjoyed it. Actually, I don't know what the actually is for. It is
very enjoyable. I sound like I'm running it down. It is very enjoyable to watch.
Yeah." And Libro Party says, "But the men were the joke." Everyone's a joke, I suppose. And in Reservoir Dogs, the characters have names like Mr. Blue, Mr. Blonde, Mr. White. Tarantino was influenced by this film. Yeah, I that particularly, yes, and the matching.
Tarantino didn't learn even the basics of how to entertain an audience. But yeah, he took the names from the movie. The characters don't have code names in the book.
Right.
And I don't think they have code names in the remakes either. I think it's just this where they have.
I haven't seen the remake, so I don't know. But yeah. Bookless Beat says, there always has to be one inside man on a caper, and he's usually the one uncomfortable with the murdering. Martin Balsam here. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, the the hijackers, their number of notes they have in their personalities goes steadily up.
Yes.
Right? You've got Mr. Brown stutters.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty much all we know about him, other than the fact that he is Wolverine, or that the writer of the book is a moron. The director is a moron. Neither one of them ever did any good work. So maybe they don't know that when you're shot in the arm and it's a through and through, you're still bleeding. It's not like, oh well, it's okay. Then
that's right.
I can continue to work at my job. No, you're still taking a gunshot. If you're
there's no blood.
If you're not treated, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Aside from that, we pretty much only know that he stutters. He's big.
Exactly.
Stutters.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Mr. Gray is a homicidal maniac. He's a racist. He's a sexist.
Yes.
He taunts the $20 an hour hooker who's on the car. You got to have a New York City hooker on the car.
That's right. Yes.
And he is insubordinate, which oddly enough, in a movie about subway hijackers, is characterized as the worst sin.
Yeah,
is that he's insubordinate. He deserves his fate. And then you've got Martin Balsam, who worries. It's not effective in any other way. He just he runs the car and he worries. And then you've got all the charisma concentrated in the Robert Shaw role. It's amazing how much he does with so little that he's given. Barely anything at all.
It's true. And I compared him to Alan Rickman, but he doesn't kind of
like Rickman. Rickman got to choose.
Right. Yeah. He's cool and collected and just like very matter of fact the whole time.
Yeah, I think it was a wise decision to give them code names. It forces us to concentrate on their personalities.
Yeah. Yeah. Bookless Pete says that they skipped the color names in the remake because they were afraid they'd be accused of ripping off Tarantino. Yeah, well, that's probably true. Yes.
And nothing is explained.
Right.
We don't get any backstory. We don't have any idea how they came up with the gimmick that gets around the dead man switch. Certainly, Martin Balsam's character wouldn't know it.
Right.
We don't have any idea how they met each other. No idea how they came up with this plan. No idea what they meant to do.
Right.
Nothing like that. Don't have anything like that. Unlike in a Hollywood movie today, where I'm sure we would get a lot of excess material. Here we don't get any.
No.
We have no idea what Garber's history is. He rises to the occasion, but we don't know. In a Hollywood movie today, you would have some character tossing off a line about how we don't want any more business like that thing you did in the Bronx or whatever. We don't get anything like that here. We don't. It's necessary. It's just about people being caught on a horrible day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And
people of New York Transit in the 70s and how god awful it was.
Yeah.
That it takes the train master, the guy who's running the train network and who's complaining about it constantly. It takes him an hour to think about buses. Maybe we should bus people.
Yeah, that's right.
He doesn't think about that right away. Instead, he complains for an hour about how I've got cars backed up all the way to Joyce.
All backed up. Yeah, that's right.
It takes him an hour to think, well, put them on buses then.
That's right.
With the implication, I think, that that the New York City Transit Authority had no supply of buses at the time. They're told that they don't have any buses. And he tells them, well, then hijack one. Right. But New York Transit has buses now, right? Lots of them, a whole fleet of them.
They had buses then. They had plenty of buses then. Yeah. There's no shortage of buses.
I myself don't agree with your contention that it's probably best that there be one police department.
Okay.
I don't agree with that. I would much rather there be housing police and transit police and then metro police. Much rather that, with independent commanders, all of whom are jealous of their own authority and all of whom jockey with City Hall. I'd much rather have that than a police commissioner in charge of something bigger than the armies of most countries.
Oh, that's true.
Only with the mayor.
You're thinking of certain particular police commissioners.
I would rather have decentralized authority. I think. You put howitzers and decommissioned Iraq War ordnance in the hands of an organized mob, and you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, police departments were very different in through the 90s than what they are
they're
now.
militarized now. Can you imagine what would happen to Mr. Green and his crew if they did this today?
Right.
The New York Police Department, without consulting with City Hall, without consulting with anyone, would riddle the car with bullets.
Yes.
The police commissioner would be the first one to say the hostages are expendable. In fact, he'd say, I hate them anyway. Kill them even if they surrender. Kill everybody even if they surrender.
That's right.
Well, that's what you get if you have a centralized military authority guarding your city. Sorry, it's a little bit of a every once in a while a little twinge of libertarianism will peek out.
It's all right. It's all right. Times like these make libertarians out of people who never thought they were libertarians. So there was this completely stupid essay in the Times a couple of weeks ago by the editor of Reason magazine, who said, your libertarian friends warned you about Trump. I'm like, every libertarian I know loves him. They didn't warn me. They voted for him 3 times, and they call themselves libertarian.
No, it's too bitter a pill for the rest of the country to swallow, because the people that accurately warned about Trump were the people that nobody in the country likes, including all the people who did the warning. The very most insufferable people, the ultra liberals from the West Coast and the East Coast. They're the ones who warned, and they were right. Nobody likes them. So their own relatives don't like them. And even now, when they have been proven completely true, completely right, no one wants to give them that credit. Imagine how insufferable it would be.
I know. Let's see. I love that style of no backstory. Yeah, no backstory is good. I mean, it's good for this. Usually, it's too much backstory. You know,
we don't know Bookless Pete's story, do we?
We know he doesn't have any books, but why?
Yeah,
actually, we do know why he doesn't have any books.
You're ruining the speak here.
Bookless Pete, he's traveling the world with no books. What is he running from?
What is he running from?
What is his?
Naturally, when I was watching this movie, one of the things that I was thinking about is that this would be a 3-minute TV commercial if New York City were home to even one Kryptonian.
Okay. Okay.
But no, instead we have bumbling humans involved.
Yeah. Well, you know, in your remake, this Bookless Pete says he's leaving. Sorry, Pete. We weren't going to make you tell us, Pete. You could hang out. Maintain the mystery.
Did I hear right that you've never seen Spider-Man 2? The great subway sequence in Spider-Man 2?
Never seen it.
I'm sure that the subway sequence alone is on YouTube that you could watch. It doesn't need contextualization. And it's some pretty good stuff to it. It really does.
I mean, that line, you've got a train to catch, that sounds pretty good.
That's awesome. And there's another great New York moment when Peter Parker, Spider-Man, he's in the front of the subway car. He's trying to save the train. He webs 2 buildings and just pulls the cornices off because the train is going too fast. And all the subway passengers are crowded behind him trying to see what he's doing. He's outside the car. And one of them says, got any other bright ideas? He looks over his shoulder and says, as a matter of fact, I have. That's really good. And of course, the moment that all the Spider-Man fans love is that he does save the car, but the effort wipes him out. Actually, he passes out. And very gently, the passengers are passing his body over themselves to lay him gently on the floor of the car. The action has torn his Spider-Man mask off.
Okay.
Looking at this kid, one of the passengers actually says, I've got a kid this age.
Right. Yeah.
And then Dr. Octopus shows up.
Right.
He realizes that his plan has failed, so he shows up, and the crowd all comes together and says, you want to get to him, you're going to have to go through us. And he says, okay. And his octopus arms slam the ball to the side. Okay.
Well, that sounds pretty fun. So, okay, so this is Spider-Man 2. Now, I think in the last 20 years there have been about
I know
5 Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire movie.
Okay, all right.
The
So
second Spider-Man 2 with Dr. Octopus.
right. Okay.
I know there've been a ton of Spider-Man movies, and most of them are not good. But
Right.
this one is a hoot from start to finish. It really is a hoot from start to finish.
I saw the first Tobey Maguire one, and that was plenty of fun. So
yeah, the second one is 10 times better.
Okay, good.
It has 4 set pieces.
All right.
4 of them.
Yeah.
One of them is entirely vertical. The action takes place entirely vertically, and the other one is this. Another one is this subway thing, which is just amazing to watch. They don't, and we're threatened with another one. We're getting another Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland.
The classicist.
Why would Hollywood do this? Why would they do this to themselves? I mean, they put out a teaser for it.
Yes.
And were bombarded. They were mercilessly ratioed online. And what were the comments from the Cinephiles out there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What? Hollis really put on weight. There's a million comments saying that. Why would any Hollywood studio set themselves up for this?
Yeah, I don't know. So, Mandy wants to know if you've watched the remake, Steve.
I have watched both of them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 2 remakes of this?
They are more taut. They're certainly more cinematic.
Right.
But I don't think I'd be really surprised if there was anybody out there that preferred them to the original. The original feels original. It feels dirty and grubby. It feels almost like the whole thing was filmed with a succession of New Yorkers with cameras.
Yeah.
There's a charm to that. There's a real charm to that. If you filmed, well, actually, both the remakes do. There are 2 scenes in this movie that take place in Gracie Mansion. And if you film those, if modern Hollywood filmed those, they would look like a mansion. They're very cramped scenes in this movie.
They're
very cramped. It works better that way.
It does.
Really does. You get a sense that these are human beings, as opposed to actors. Oh God, though, the later remake, the one where Garber is played by Denzel Washington. Oh my God. Oh my God. I am a huge Denzel Washington fan, but he cannot play a normal person. Okay? He has never been a normal person. He doesn't have any idea, even theoretically, what a normal person is. And Lieutenant Garber is a thoroughgoing normal person.
Right. Yeah.
He cannot play a normal person. It's embarrassing to watch him try. I don't prefer either of the remakes.
Right.
To this. Not at all.
Libro Paradiso says Kirsten Dunst is my favorite Spider-Man. Isn't she in the Tobey Maguire ones, or is that someone else? Am I confused?
Yeah. The Kirsten Dunst Tobey Maguire love scenes are notable for their amazing chemistry. Good God. Good God. I mean, yeah, Kirsten Dunst is in the movies. Yeah, in her gap-mouthed, cross-eyed glory. And the classic moment where Spider-Man kisses her upside down, I felt like saying, in fact, out loud in the theater, I think I did mutter to myself, considering your romantic chemistry to this point, how would you even know that he's upside down? God,
well, you're losing Libro Paradiso if you're slandering Kirsten Dunst.
Well, viewers are going to know to expect heresy from me.
Randy says that subway moment is one of the best scenes in any superhero movie.
See that?
All right. See,
even in a morphine haze, Randy agrees with me.
Well, look, I mean, Steve was saying that
you've got a subway, you've got a train to catch.
Right.
That's awesome.
When Steve was telling me about it, I said, that's probably just nonsense. But if Randy's, I'll take Randy's word for it. Okay. New Spider-Man film this summer. My comic shop will rent a theater for the customers. Okay.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also speculation about that movie as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the last Spider-Man movie, the last live action with the 3 douchebag actors who played Spider-Man giving it a triple douche. The trailer for the movie could not show that they were in it. So famously, there was a scene where the one Spider-Man, the Tom Holland Spider-Man, is swinging into action against multiple villains, and it's clear from the trailer that a couple of the villains are concentrating on other people who've just been digitally removed from the trailer. And fans have noticed that the same thing looks like it's happening in this trailer. There's a scene that is shown where it looks like the same thing is happening, where Spider-Man is swinging into action with someone else. So the whole question is, who is that someone else? If it's true, who is that someone else? That's the big secret of this movie so far. It'll be leaked, I'm sure. But the big secret of this movie is what other characters are in it. In the trailer, we have the Punisher and Bruce Banner. But who else is in it? And if we have Bruce Banner, do we have the Hulk?
Right.
I thought it was hilarious. Everybody commented. Not only the neck-bearded quasi-fascist, but everybody commented that in the trailer, Bruce Banner has a big device on his hand. And a million people in the comments of the trailer were saying, what the hell is that? Because literally nobody watched She-Hulk. Nobody watched that show. So nobody has any idea what it is. I got a good deal of satisfaction out of that, considering how horrible She-Hulk was.
Was that the same as She-Hulk Attorney at Law? Was that the same show?
They did a TV show of She-Hulk that was just awful.
Yeah.
It was just awful. And that device debuts in that show, and you would only know what it was if you'd watched the show, and nobody knew what it was. It was very satisfying. In a way, it was very satisfying.
Right. Let's see. Man, he needs to rewatch the Spider-Man 2 ASAP then. He grew up on the Tobey Spider-Man
movie. Fine movie from beginning to end.
Okay.
Fine movie.
How do you feel about the what was the animated one? Is that any good?
Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Just utterly incredible. Utterly incredible. Easily the best, obviously, since it's not constricted by human beings, it's easily the best Spider-Man movie that's ever been made. Easily.
Oh. Does it depend on knowing a lot of Spider-Man crap? Okay.
Nope, because it's a new Spider-Man.
Yeah, okay.
Miles Morales, who despite the 20 years of comic book effort, nobody knows.
Okay.
It's a new Spider-Man. So it was specifically made so that it isn't carrying all that baggage. Everybody knows who Spider-Man is. Everybody knows basically that he's web swings around New York. Okay.
Right. And from Queens also. So.
Oh, what a tremendous amount of heart in that movie. What an amazing show.
Libra says the best scene in superhero films is when Reeve catches Kidder and Superman. You've got me, who's got you? That is a pretty good scene.
When this goes up on your channel and people can watch it at their leisure, if it is watched by anybody who has ever actually come here for a visit for wine and calzones, they're going to be spasming right now because they have been put through that scene a million times. Every single person who's ever come here has been made to watch that scene multiple times.
Okay.
But it's not the greatest scene in any superhero movie.
Okay.
You're right. It is really good, though. Oh, my God. Although even there, in the Stalkine Brothers original Superman movie, that also gives you lots and lots of taste of the kind of New York that we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's Metropolis, but it's doing duty as Metropolis, but it is very clearly in its attitude. It is very clearly the New York that we're talking about, this New York of the 70s.
Yeah.
Right down to the racial stereotypes.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking here about, the first appearance of Superman before the world. And that scene, the whole sequence is great. And it's only ruined by one thing, because the very first person in the movie, in other words, in the world, ever to see Superman is a classic 1970s black New York pimp.
Yes.
Who says, "That's a bad outfit. Hey, man, that's a bad outfit."
God.
And you think, okay, he's just seen this guy in, skin tight spandex and a long red cape come out of a revolving door. Anyone could say that. Hey, that's a bad outfit. Seems like an odd reaction, but still, it's not a racial stereotype until a second later when we learn that this is a racial stereotype all the way to the edge and beyond of simple cracked insanity. Because when the character in the skin tight spandex and the big red cape flies into the air, the 1970s New York pimp is still talking about his outfit.
That's right. Yeah.
Stalkine Brothers, ladies and gentlemen. Yay. Yes.
Libro says Spider-Verse is good. Sure. Okay. And Manny N says, wasn't there a sequel to Miles Morales' Spider-Man?
Yep. Very, very good sequel too. Very, very good.
So that's a sequel to the Spider-Verse one. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It just isn't. It is very, very good. But the first Spider-Verse movie had that thrill of discovery. You'd never seen anything like it.
Right.
In an animated movie, even you'd never seen anything like some bits of it. So
right.
It felt new. It felt new. And Miles Morales, the character in the comic books, he's not there at all. You've got a bunch of Vassar educated lily white writers trying to write this character. They're all afraid to do anything. They're afraid to give him any kind of character or a personality of any kind. They're afraid to make him distinct in any way. They can't make him too milquetoast. But they certainly can't make him too aggressive. Don't want to scare the suburban moms. So he ends up being nothing. In the movie, at least he is somebody. And it works out really well. Not a fan of replacing characters in the comics. Not a fan at all. Replacing characters.
I'm not a comic book guy, so I don't know how to.
Well, you're up against it watching movies today. If you're not a comic book guy, where do you go?
I just don't watch them. I think like once a year I will watch one of these superhero movies and just to get a sense of it, But,
the very first legacy superhero character of them all. That's the movie this summer, Supergirl.
Okay.
And it's terrific.
Is
Fans are going to hate it. They're going to absolutely hate it. It's
okay.
terrific. Absolutely terrific. They're going to say that it runs down men.
Okay.
And specifically that it runs down Superman. It doesn't do either of those things.
Okay.
What these neck-bearded quasi-fascist so-called film critics on YouTube, what they just don't want to admit is that they hate women. They hate women and anyone who's not white.
Steve, that's not fair. I think they do admit that.
They probably do. They'd have been cheering for Mr. Gray when he dropped the N-word into taking a Pelham 3. They'd have been cheering.
Yeah. Critical drinker would be like, yes, this is our real movie. Yeah.
The spectacle of them all coming to the defense of what's his name, who blurted out, his Tourette's blurted out a word at Bath. All these channels, all these guys who've done nothing but sneer at everyone for their whole career. They're all saying, oh, that's just not how this disease works. Hollywood's gone nuts. This is crazy. All these liberal actors and producers coming down on this guy when he can't help it.
Yeah.
And I don't leave comments on these channels, but I wanted to say, do you think you're fooling anybody? You're not defending him. You're happy about the word he used.
Yes.
You're happy about the word he used. You like hearing, and you can't say it or you'll lose your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Do you think you're fooling anyone? Do you have compassion all of a sudden?
Yeah. No. So how often do you watch movies? I know you're well known as a enthusiastic reader, to put it mildly.
I watch a lot of movies.
You do? Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend who works in Hollywood, so she sends me screeners. I don't go to a movie theater. Not in a million years. Not in a million years would I do that. The last time I went to a movie theater, someone's cell phone rang and they took the call in conversational tones.
Oh, come on.
The movie playing right up on the screen that I paid $15 to watch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There was a kid on the aisle. When he passed my seat, I said, how about doing your goddamn job? And he just walked on. Didn't even know what I was talking about. No one around the person thought anything of it. Why? Because they'd take calls themselves if it happened.
Probably so, yeah.
So I left and pretty much said, that's enough of that. There's a thrill seeing a movie with a crowd, but not if you can take a phone call with the movie and not think anything of it. Well, I just watch screeners on my MacBook.
It's nice if you get them for free. It's also insanely expensive to go to the theater these days.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Yeah,
which would make it all the worse if some idiot is being selfish and interrupts.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what that would be like. And the nice thing about screeners is that it can also be TV shows.
Yeah.
I got the first 4 episodes of Starfleet Academy, for instance. I'm not sure that doesn't count as an act of terrorism, but I did.
Yeah.
Sometimes I set aside time and watch these things.
Yeah.
I have screeners for a whole bunch of things that I haven't watched yet.
Right. What role do like old movies play in your watching? I mean,
well, I don't
you
have
watch
any
new things
technology for them if they're free on YouTube. But I don't have a TV. I don't have this. This is a MacBook Air. It doesn't have a CD drive.
Yeah.
I think I have one laptop that does have a CD slot, but I don't know if the machine works.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
I don't have any way to watch these things other than digitally.
Yeah.
I have Amazon and Netflix and I think Paramount. I think I have that as well.
Yeah.
So, I have access to a whole bunch of stuff that I can watch, older movies that I can watch.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of great stuff that's out there and tons of free stuff on YouTube.
It's true. Yeah. It's surprising. There's a lot of stuff on Tubi, a lot of old movies on Tubi. Actually, Libro Paradiso turned me onto that channel. It's free, or it's a free streaming service, and it's got a lot of old things if you like old movies. Yeah. So this little series that Randy and I have been doing has got me watching more movies than I typically have for a while. I kind of became very much a book guy and I used to be much more of a cinema person, and so this has gotten me watching more things. And
I wouldn't consider The Taking of Pelham 123 to be an old movie. So
that
says a lot about me, I guess. So I wouldn't consider it to be an old movie. Movies are movies that were in theater before I was.
Right. Yeah, and we've done a lot of movies from the 40s and 50s, and we have kind of an unofficial boundary line at 1983 because The Wrath of Khan came out in 1982, and so canonically on this live stream, that was the last classic film, was The Wrath of Khan. But we've broken the rule many times.
Leaves out a whole lot of great movies.
Yeah, I know.
Didn't that leave out Die Hard?
It does.
Can't leave out Die Hard.
Yeah.
You asked for a miracle, I give you the FBI. You can't leave out Die Hard.
Yeah, I know. It leaves out, as Libro keeps reminding us, it leaves out Bring It On. So, let's see. Road to Perdition, A History of Violence, and Old Boy, Battle Royals, all good films based on comics. Okay. Yeah, Libro likes a lot of those kinds of comics, the graphic novels and things like that. And I've seen all those movies, and they are good. So
I wish I liked History of Violence more.
Okay.
I wish I liked it more. To me, it seems like the epitome of modern Hollywood, where it is 3 or 4 good sequences stitched together.
Yeah.
You can tell from the 3 or 4 good sequences that they all had their own directors of photography. Because none of them look like any of the others. That is so endemic in Hollywood that you can tell, well, it was week 3, somebody's in rehab or has stormed off the set because it doesn't look like anything else in the movie. Doesn't act like anything else in the movie.
Right.
I got the sense that there was a good movie in there that wanted to be made, but instead we get the Frankenstein thing all stitched together.
Certainly the way that movie wraps up is definitely kind of.
Well, I was just talking visually and pacing, where so many modern movies that I watch, it is so obvious where one person, was in the hospital having their stomach pumped and had to be somebody has to step in, and this is my big chance to shine.
Right.
No matter what. I mean, what was that that recent movie with oh my god, I'm forgetting his name. He's really good too, so I shouldn't forget his name. He was Kylo Ren. Star Wars. I'm totally
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver, that's right. He did a movie with T-Rexes.
Okay.
He goes back in the past. He's got a chance to save someone right before the Chicxulub meteor strikes the Earth. And that was another perfect example where you could practically see the dividing lines. between different directors of photography, just having their own way with different parts of the movie, and it was distracting. Maybe it wouldn't be distracting for a 21st century audience, but you look at something like the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, or any other movie at the time, what's going on. There's one person making the decisions.
And it's consistent from beginning to end, as if there's a director who has
a director and a director of photography who knows exactly what he wants it to look like.
Yes,
every bit of it, knows what he wants every bit of it to look like.
It's almost as if directors matter, one might say.
Directors of photography matter. I never said otherwise. Directors don't matter at all. And they don't do their homework, of course. That Adam Driver movie, the big tense ending is, will they lift off before the meteorite strikes Earth? And it takes 5 seconds Googling to inform you how fast that meteor was traveling. It would be over before you knew it was happening. But that won't be a good movie. So
not really.
Lots of pieces like rain.
YouTube is underrated as a movie resource, says Bookless Pete. Thank you, Bookless Pete. And tons of great movies on here. Yes, there are.
There is a way, right, to search YouTube for free movies?
Probably there is.
Waiting for it to come up in your feed?
I mean, if I'm thinking of a movie that I want to see, I'll type it into the search bar, and sometimes it will come up.
Well, you are now. Spider-Man 2.
All right.
Spider-Man 2.
They won't do Bring It On. Bring It On is, I think that's on Tubi for free, actually.
But
no, we won't do Bring It On. No. Cronenberg makes interesting films.
Do you want them to do Bring It On before they do Footloose? I don't think you do. Do you? You want them to do Footloose first, right? I don't know. Everybody has their own favorite movie. It's no accounting for that.
I don't think we're going to do either Bring It On or Footloose. Well, I mean, I don't know. If Randy convinces me, then
I love the scene in Footloose was a long, long time ago, but I love the scene in Footloose where Kevin Bacon tries to teach a very much younger Randy Ray how to dance. It's a very delightful sequence.
Bookless Pete follows Pizza Flicks for old movies. I do not know that channel, but I will look into it. And Libra says, no, not
I've been urged by many people, far more people than I would expect, have urged me over the years, please do regular movie talk. Just don't ever do it. But in fact, over the years, some people have said, I bet I can guess the reason why you don't do it is because it's not about books. Well, then just talk about movies that were made from books, if you want to do that. Surely you can get away with that. I haven't done it yet, but I keep thinking about it.
Were you and the Cedarburg Library guy, were you doing some movie videos?
We were doing some movie videos, yes, including for patrons, but then I had to fire him.
Okay.
You got to do these things,
Yeah.
You got to do these things. You show up with chocolate frosted donut on your face, you're gone. I'll find somebody else in Wisconsin who won't show up to work with chocolate frosted donut on their. Oh wait, they all do. Okay. So you have to hire them back. It's a rocky road.
Right. Fingers all greasy from brats, and Libra suggests that we do Flashdance. I don't think that is going to hold up. I'm not sure.
We could either do Flashdance or we could do mescaline. It's the same result. The same result. We could do one or the other. But getting back to Pelham 1, taking Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
The two things that bothered me about the book bothered me about the movie.
Okay.
Weird. I mean, it's not so weird because the writer of the book is terrible and the director of the movie is terrible.
Okay.
In the book, it really bothered me that the means of getting around the dead man switch is never explained.
Right.
Even omnisciently to the reader, it's never explained, meaning that the reader has every reason to believe that the author has no idea. Just wants it to be so.
Right. Yeah.
And I was kind of expecting that the movie, the book has a very violent, active ending. And I was expecting, since this is Hollywood, that the movie would do the same. Well, I'm not sure that I was happier with the ending the way it was in the movie.
Right.
I mean, the movie is ambling along. Walter Matthau is, what do you want now? What's 10 minutes going to hurt you? Oh, I got it. Somebody got a pencil? And it's like at the hour-long minute mark, the movie suddenly realizes, oh wait, nothing's happened. So they mysteriously have just some of the guys, some of the cops in the tunnel just open fire for no reason whatsoever. It's never right. Just need some gunfire at that moment. Otherwise, the audience is going to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that that's a solution that's any better than the craptastic ending of the novel.
I'm surprised you remember when did you read this novel?
I think when it came out.
So 1973.
It's never been reprinted. No one would be cruel. No one would be cruel enough to reprint this book.
Steve, everyone read it.
No one read it. No.
But
like to get back to Jaws, to get back to a movie that everybody's seen, to get back to Jaws. In the ending of Jaws, the book, everybody knows the ending of Jaws, the movie, right? Where the shark has a canister of gas in its mouth, and all that Brody has to do is hit that canister, and he's going to blow up the shark.
Yes.
Okay, so it's big and it's cinematic and it's explosive and it's very Hollywood, and it's really good. It's really effective. Smile, you son of a bitch. That is really effective.
Yes.
It's an improvement on the end of the novel, where Brody is hanging on the wreckage of the sinking ship. When he sees the shark, its big head and its fin drifting towards him, and he is terrified. He assumes it is going to eat him, but when it gets to him, it sort of nudges against him because it turns out it's dead. There's no drama in that at all. None whatsoever. The drama is reserved for the ending of Quaint, who in the book has a much more dramatic death than he does in the movie. He's just Et. He's just in the book, he has a much more Ahab-like ending. And I approved of those changes because they showed a hand at the wheel, so to speak. No pun intended. But taking your Pelham 1, 2, 3, we don't have any idea what the gimmick is that surpasses the dead man switch. And like I said, well, you seem to try to explain it, but we're not given any explanation for why the car miraculously stops.
Right. Yeah.
Just that the old man says it will.
Right. It's Steve, the dead man switch is defeated with aluminum tubes.
Aluminum tubes. And then we're told that the car is traveling at 70 miles an hour and it stops on a dime. Well, what would that do to the people on board?
They would be crushed.
Ironically enough, the drunk woman who's unconscious would probably be the only one who survived.
Right. Yeah. I mean, oh, look at her.
Somebody's woken up again. Do you want to come over here? No, you don't. No.
Manny seconds the opinion that you should make regular movie content.
Every time I talk about movies or TV shows, I get this. People who routinely say that I talk about them in different ways than they've ever heard before. Yeah. This has been years now where I've had people email me and say, when I hear people talk about movies, I so often go on to autopilot because I feel like all I'm hearing is received opinion. And I don't get that with you.
Right.
And you can back up what you say. If you say that a scene doesn't work, you can tell me exactly why it doesn't work, instead of just saying it's a gut feeling.
Right.
That was probably 8 years ago, the first time I heard that. And I thought, well, that can't be true. And then I realized these people are all going off YouTube movie critics. And it is true for YouTube movie critics. Most of them don't know what they're talking about. They are just doing received opinion. And so many of them fatally are on the dole.
Oh, sure.
They want those bag of goodies. They want that access. Whereas I have access without that. So I guess that's valuable. Maybe I should think about it again. The year is still young. It's only first quarter that's done.
You've got nothing else going on.
I could do book to movie.
Yeah.
I could do that and preserve the literary quality of my channel. I could do that.
Let's see. Medium John Silver says, I look at Truffaut's Fahrenheit 451 from 1966 might be interesting. I have not seen this movie. Not the biggest fan of Truffaut myself. I think I don't really... His charm has always kind of eluded me.
Could we look at the poster and then move on to Young Frankenstein or Blazing Saddles?
We could, yes.
Although, yes. At the mention of Truffaut's Fahrenheit 451, I would ordinarily go on a canned, completely delightful Steve rant about French directors. And I can't do that now. Because one of my favorite movies in the last decade is the new adaptation of The Stranger by Albert Camus.
Which no one's seen.
It doesn't have wide release yet. It's driving me crazy. Why won't they release this thing? It's won all sorts of awards already. Nobody's seen it. So nobody believes me. No one's willing to believe me when I say it's really, really good.
I don't. If someone told me Steve Donoghue's crazy about this French film of an Albert Camus novel.
I have a long track record on this of being right on this. Long time ago, still on my channel. That's how long my channel has been around. A long time ago, I remember I was in another filming location and I told everybody that the new Wonder Woman movie is really, really good, and it has one sequence in it that everyone is going to be talking about that is astonishingly good. And that was months before it came out, and everybody that saw it said, "Boy, you were right. You were absolutely right."
All right. Libro is hailing Frida as Cujo, which is
unless he's suggesting that we talk about the movie Cujo.
No, I think he is just saluting your dog by calling her.
Just take a wild guess. Steve hates the novels of Stephen King completely, all of them.
Yes.
Take a wild guess what Steve's least favorite Stephen King is.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard to guess what Steve's least favorite Stephen King is.
There are two that I would guess, but one that is definitely in first place.
Well, I mean, Stephen King could write a novel about Julius Caesar. Then he would hit the trifecta of dead dogs, dead Kennedys, and Romans. So far, he's only done 2 of the 3.
Yeah, right. Don't give him any ideas. You know,
he hasn't done historical fiction, thankfully. Good Lord.
Does the Kennedy not count as historical fiction? I guess it's not historical enough.
I don't think it's, well, yeah, maybe it does count as historical fiction too. I always worry. I worried when Robert Parker announced he was going to do historical fiction, and it was really, really good. I worried when Elmer Leonard, and his was really, really good. So,
well, Randy Ray is not here, but well, maybe he's watching. But his book club got me to subject myself to The Stand, and I think I overran his Voxer channel with my complaints about The Stand as I was reading through it.
Oh, the book.
Yes.
Have you ever subjected yourself to the miniseries?
I think I saw the first one from maybe the early 2000s. I saw that one, but not the later one.
You're not missing anything.
Yeah, no,
really aren't missing anything. Better by far the parody on Saturday Night Live where Christopher Walken plays a trivial psychic. Is against you, goes, "You'll have coffee in the morning. It will be so good." That one had more. That 5 minutes had more entertainment in it than the whole miniseries.
Manny wants to know if you've watched the new Project Hail Mary movie yet.
Yep. Yep, I have. I watched a screener of it. I don't know. Is it out yet? Is it in the theaters? I wouldn't go to see it in the theater. I had a screener, and I was kind of curious, and I could go on and on about the idiocy of the book and also the idiocy of the movie. They are two different kinds of idiocy. The idiocy of the movie is exactly what we've been talking about in this conversation.
Yeah.
But once upon a time, I think you would agree with me with this about the taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. No matter what our criticisms are, once upon a time, Hollywood movies were made for adults.
Yes.
They were made for people who were paying attention and who knew what the world was like and who didn't have dopamine deficiencies that needed to be corrected every 5 minutes.
Right.
Once upon a time, they were made for adults. That party joke, "You'll be okay, miss," Cinephile says to the downed cop, that only works if you have been paying attention to the whole movie.
Yeah.
And if you have, it does work. I don't think it works all that well, but it does.
Great, but yeah. Yeah.
Good luck finding anything like that in Project Hail Mary. Find me any moment like that.
Yeah.
It's a star vehicle, and star vehicles are usually bad. in modern era of Hollywood, they're usually bad. Why? Because actors are as dumb as barnyard animals. In fact, dumber. They're dumber than barnyard animals. If you give a rotating sluice gate to your average 80-pound barnyard hog, he will figure it out faster than Ryan Gosling will. He will. Literally, he will. He will figure it out faster than Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling will be standing there demanding that an assistant figure it out for him. These people have never been people. They have never been normal people. They don't know how to do anything at all, including think. This is so obvious. Oh, God. I know this is heresy because everybody in the chat is going to be disagreeing with me. I thought that this would at least be better than The Martian as a movie, because Matt Damon was so incredibly condescending towards ordinary people in that movie. He's one of these Hollywood stars who thinks he was once an ordinary person. He was not an ordinary person ever. And he thinks he was. Some of them do. You know, Sean Penn thinks he was an ordinary person at some point. Someone has convinced them that they weren't. They don't have any memories of that, but someone convinces them of it.
Yeah.
And then they put on that persona. And thankfully, Ryan Gosling doesn't think that, but it doesn't matter because all the stuff that he does think is no better.
That's true. Let's see. Juan Calzone says, would suggest Boys from Brazil from 1978. Steve has many new fans waiting for his thoughts. Okay.
I could go on forever about that movie. Forever. About the movie versus the book. Maybe I should start with that.
Yeah.
Or if I do a regular movie feature of my own, maybe I should start with that. I'm tempted to start with Jaws, of course.
Right.
Everybody knows that movie. And that's the thing you run into when you talk about movies. But is that not everybody will have seen what you're talking about.
Right.
But we encounter that with books too, right?
Yep. Now, do you like the book Jaws?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
And I think that's distinctly a minority opinion. I think a lot of people don't like the book, but will say that the movie is one of the best thriller movies ever made, right?
Yeah. I get that a lot. People who haven't read the book will say that it's bad, and people who've watched the movie will say that it's great.
Yeah.
And they're both wrong. Jaws is such a ham-handed, lead-footed movie. I don't know how anyone could say. Whole film classes have been taught about it, for Pete's sake.
Yeah.
You don't understand. He puts the knife in the wooden gunnel, and then the water is sunlight behind it, and
yes, people like that. Yes.
We're looking out into the ocean through the jaws of a shark mounted on the wall. You don't understand. Foreshadowing. God help us.
I don't know what he said.
It's a great choice. You and me and Randy could talk about that.
That's true. It's true.
Visibly exhausted sitting here across from me. So I don't know that you'd be able to survive.
I'm doing fine. Thank you very much. Now, to Steve and Randy, I would not need to get a word in edgewise. The two of you would hold up my end of the conversation. Manny says it's out in theaters. I guess that's Project Hail Mary. I've heard a lot of noise about it online. Most people seem to love it. Okay. Don't know. Did not read the book. Don't plan to see the movie.
The alien in the quartz bubble does a better job of acting than Ryan Gosling. He is upstaged by something he never even saw during filming. And if on-set rumors are correct, early on in the filming, he was wondering where the silicon-based alien is, and had to be gently, politely told, Mr. Gosling, no aliens have ever been found.
Right.
You would probably have read about that.
Yeah. He can't be that dumb.
That's what they all say.
All right.
That's what newcomers to any movie set. That's the one thing they all say. They can't be that dumb. That's what they all say. That's what they all say. They all say that. And when does it stop? When do they stop saying that?
When they meet an actor.
When Tom Hardy on the set of a Venom movie goes over to the craft service table, picks up a muffin and bites into the bottom with the paper and says these have paper on them still. And the craft service workers, all of whom were new to the set, started out their day by saying, "Oh, they can't be that dumb." Then a grown man bites a muffin from the bottom and says he still had paper on them and wants somebody to be fired for it. I'm here to tell you, they can be that dumb. They very much can be that dumb. They are all that dumb.
I was watching some of your live stream and someone asked about the Timothée Chalamet thing. And I enjoyed your take on it, which is, why would anyone expect him to be anything other than as stupid?
The thing is, we always expect that these are ordinary people who got superstardom. That's not true. Sure. They've never been people.
Yeah.
They don't have any idea what it's like to be a person. That's why all of them buy farms in Montana once they have FU money, because they think, oh, I'll muck out the stalls and whatnot. And how long does that last?
Right.
How long did that last with Ezra Miller before he was drugging his neighbors, going on crime sprees? No matter how many farms in Vermont you buy, you're never going to be a normal person.
Yes,
that's to get back to the taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. That's what bothered me about the conclusion, is that Mathau is obviously an ordinary person.
Right.
It just doesn't feel right. Not only to be holding a gun on somebody, to be so calm about it. You know, like you are a cool action hero.
Yeah. It's all in a day's work, you know.
It's all in a day's work. The ending makes no sense at all. So Lieutenant Garber from headquarters, is going to be prowling the subway tunnels alone with a gun, facing who knows how many armed terrorists. He's not going to have any policemen with him. He's not going to have any of the people that we've told are all over the subway columns. He's not going to have any of those. He's going to be by himself.
Well,
he's charming. As you know, as a figure, he's charming, but there are limits.
Okay, so we're saying taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3, not a good blueprint for your next crime. So consider something else. There is a note in the beginning of the ending credits saying that the Transit Authority of New York cooperated with the filming of this, but that they didn't give them any technical advice on how their trains and their systems worked, you know, as if to say, so if you're planning any kind of a heist, none of this applies. Don't take this as a guide.
Surely, I mean, the movie was a moderate success, wasn't it? People did go to see it.
Yeah.
So surely there can't be a Pelham 1, 2, 3 anymore.
The
New York Transit Authority would have stopped that.
They did. They said, even they don't, you know, it's not like that's announced on the train, but that's what it is referred to, you know, internally. And after this movie, they never had a train leaving from Pelham at 123.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Well, nothing even remotely like this has ever happened in New York history, for real, specifically because that you would need a gimmick that works, and there isn't one.
Right. Yeah.
The closest that we get to subway pyrotechnics would be Bernie Getz on a subway car a decade after this movie, opening fire. He's pulling a gun out of his briefcase and opening fire on hoodlums on his subway car.
There was a guy now this is the Long Island Railroad, but there was a guy who committed went on a shooting spree on the Long Island Railroad, probably 92, 93, somewhere around there. I forget his name.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that.
But Yeah, I think that's right. And there are jokes referring to other prominent hijackings because the 70s was a busy time for hijacking, right? And at one point, Jerry Stiller says, "I think I know how they're going to get away. They're going to try and fly the train to Cuba," which is a
the
joke that
70s
is
and the 80s. That was the whole.
yes,
There was a blueprint for this. It wasn't
right,
all that common, but there was a blueprint for it.
right. And
Which
so
is
a reference
a big
that's
part
lost to
of
people today.
9/11. It's a
Yeah.
big part of how 9/11 happened, that no one really thought
Mhm.
that that blueprint won't happen.
Right.
Sure, a plane can get hijacked, but it'll be
Mhm.
for a reason. It'll be
Yeah.
give the hijackers demands. It won't be
Right.
that the hijackers have no demands.
Right. It's not that they're hijacking to use the plane for something. There,
Right.
yeah.
The only people that that knew there was a good chance that that could happen was the Bush administration. And what could they do about it? Condoleezza Rice and George W. Bush both getting in front of cameras and saying, "Well, there's no way we could have known that people would use planes as weapons."
Right. Yes.
Their own internal documents saying that people could use planes as weapons.
That's right. Yes.
And there incidents like this on the New York subway system now are unknown. And
Right.
you know, so they are much safer. And you might say, well, okay, then what do you have to complain about? And the reason why they're that much safer is because the New York City Transit Police
Mhm.
have been hugely beefed up. Their annual budget is like $70 billion or $70 million, something like that. And
Mhm.
okay, that's the reason why it's safer. But that also
Mhm.
means that they have tanks and shoulder-mounted missile launchers. And
Yeah.
I don't know that that's an even trade.
I don't either. Yeah. But
I would rather have graffiti inside the car of my subway than
Mhm.
that. Than
What
having
is now?
a New York police
Now
car.
you're a regular rider of the T.
I am,
What is it
yes.
like on the T?
Well,
The,
it's a little bit of a parlous time to ask me that, because usually the T is very well behaved.
Mhm.
You can tell the quality of the different, all the lines are different colors, and you can tell
Mhm.
the line, the quality of the different lines of the T
Mhm.
by whether or not the lines serve City Hall
Mhm.
or whether or not they go through the neighborhoods where City Hall officials live. Those lines
Okay.
never have any troubles. They are
Mhm.
always well maintained. They never have any
Right.
delays or anything. But then there are two lines that run through the poorer parts of Boston. They tend to
Mhm.
break down a lot.
Okay.
Except lately, we have
Mhm.
a new MBTA honcho. We have a mayor who wants the everyday realities of life in the city to work,
Mhm.
and they largely do. The only reason it's a parlous time is because just a couple of days ago, a lunatic at the subway station nearest to me took out a meat cleaver
Oh, good.
and started threatening the wheels of buses. He didn't like the fact that the wheels of the bus go round and round. I don't think that he threatened any humans, but
Okay.
an MBTA cop thought, well, I better tackle this guy. So he did. And in the course of tackling him, which all of
Mhm.
his training says not to do,
Right.
all of his training says don't tackle someone like this, because
Yeah.
if you do, your gun might go off. And he did. And his
Yeah.
gun went off.
Oh my
And
God.
I don't think anyone was hurt.
Right.
But there were like 50 police cars over there, and ambulances and paddy wagons and a whole bunch of other stuff. So ordinarily, the T is very well behaved, but not just the other day.
Yeah.
Ordinarily, it's very well behaved. It's frictionless.
Right.
So much better than it used to be.
Mhm.
Where the subway line that I use is one of the poor subway lines. So, and
Mhm.
ordinarily, good luck getting it to run. It was a delay after delay after delay. That never happens anymore.
Right.
And you have everything, the whole fare collection is electronic. So there's no more
Okay.
getting the little metal token and then
Mhm.
putting it in the little metal slot and hoping that it doesn't get stuck and all that business.
Right. Yeah.
Once upon a time, if you were coming down the stairs of a subway platform on the MBTA,
Yeah.
if you were coming down the stairs and you did not have a fare, you had to get your fare, and
Mhm.
the train was pulling into the station, there
Mhm.
was no chance that you could do it. You would have to jump the turnstile if you wanted to get on that train. There was
Right.
no, you didn't have enough time to do it.
Right.
With fiddling with the machines, getting a little token, putting that in a
Mhm.
little slot, there was no
Yeah.
way you could do it. Now you can.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Occasionally there are rude people
yeah.
on the subway, but
Well, I mean, of course.
yeah, then you just have to decide. The correct thing to do is just lower your head and put up with it.
Mhm.
because someone who's willing to be rude on a closed subway car could be Mr. Green or Mr. Blue or Mr. Gray. You don't want to take that chance.
Well, you're hoping it's Mr. Green and not Mr. Gray. Yeah. So
I'm very bad at that. I'm very bad at just lowering my head, and I absolutely will not get up and move to another car. No way. In deference to someone being rude, no way. And I should be. I'm very bad at that. I was also very bad at that on the New York subway system. I've been told this over and over again by friends of mine that your skin thins when you get on a subway car when it should. What on earth is going on here? You're not this temperament. You're not this reactive. All of a sudden, you can't stand it when somebody's blasting their music. I don't know. It's such egregious rudeness. It bugs me.
Yeah, let's see. Here we have Wine Calzone says Duel from 1971 is based on a Richard Matheson story.
Yes, you left out bad. It's based on a bad Matheson story.
Richard Matheson story. Okay. Manny Ann says, but he's, Ryan Gosling acting schmacting. Sure.
You're absolutely right. That's what you'll get in the movie. And I'm not even running that down. I'm not naive enough to think 99% of the people who will go to this movie, the thing that will make it its box office, are people who are going to see Ryan Gosling be Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
I'm not blind to that. Just it's
we can talk about Ryan Gosling all. Okay. Wine and Calzone says, I think his work on Duel got Spielberg the Jaws gig later. Maybe so. Don't know. I have not seen Duel, so I don't know. All right. Well, it's been about 2 hours, and I've had a good time. I've got to go and do a little bit of reading before I go to bed. Steve, you've got to do I know you have to tuck yourself in and get your full 12 hours.
I need my 12-hour sleep, yes.
Yes, and so you can go and check in.
Hard as it would be for me to sleep for 12 hours, I've got something even harder lined up. I've got to convince a miniature schnauzer to go out in the rain.
Okay.
It's been raining all day. It has not gone well.
Yeah. It's tough. Now, my dear beloved Louise hated going out in the rain. And when I knew, like, we have to get this done, I would pick her up and I would carry her about a block from the house and put her down so she would walk back to the house and she would take care of business on the way. But you could.
I don't ever do that with Frida. Yeah. I don't ever use force on her to get my way.
Yeah.
Never. Well, I don't pick her up. There's no such thing as air jail with me. There's no nothing.
It wasn't a punishment. It's just we needed to.
Right. I early on, she is much more intelligent than any dog I've ever had.
Yeah,
she's effectively my intelligence. She's effectively, she knows what's going on. She knows. I'd never had to teach her anything. She knows exactly what a situation requires and what it doesn't. She knows when she's overindulging herself. She knows when she's straining my patience. So I just let that happen. I trust that she will come around.
Yes.
But she never speak to me again if I picked her up in the rain. No way. She knows what the rain is. She knows what I want her to do. She won't go in the house. So we'll go out and she will dart somewhere under nominal cover and just empty all her photon torpedoes and then she'll be done.
Yeah.
But we'll have to do this again, yes?
Yes, it has been a delight, Steve. I'm glad to have gotten you on.
We'll have to do this again, yes?
Yes, we will. Yes, we'll do this again.
I'll keep Randy in the hospital as long as it takes.
Oh, good God.
I can pay people to keep him very happy.
Oh, boy.
Well, what are we talking about next week?
Next week, it's we're doing Shane with Greg from Ghost Readers in the Sky. Fine channel. And a good book, and an okay movie. So, Randy's a big fan of the movie. Greg is a big fan of the movie. I'm medium on the movie. But
what happens if Greg ends up in the hospital?
Do you have connections in Idaho? I don't know about.
Need a third? We'll have to do this again.
Yes, we'll do it again sometime, Steve. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, everyone else. One more from Libro. He says Shane is excellent. Good to watch with Logan. Okay, and Bookless Pete says this was fun. Thank you both. Thank you, Pete. Thanks for joining us. Thanks everybody else for joining us.
Always lots of fun to talk movies.
Yes, and thanks, Steve, for being our guest. Delightful. All right, I'm going to end the stream by pressing that.